Well, here we are solving this practice test. So here's problem number one. It says give a written description of the motion. Well, let's just go ahead and do that. So if we were to describe this motion by merely writing, what we'd say is this. The object starts backwards at -3 meters per second and moves faster backwards. So you might even say that it increases speed as it moves backwards. That'd be good enough for the exam. Now we want to write down the velocity equation from the graph. That's just another way of saying write down the equation of the line. So we know that we have v equals at plus v naught. And let's be clear, v is the y variable, a is the slope, t is the x variable, and v naught is the y-intercept. So let's get the slope using the rise over the run. So I have a point here that's going to be -9, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 seconds. So actually it's 8 seconds at a coordinate of -9 meters per second. And here we're at 0 and -3 meters per second. So when we do the rise over run calculation, we're going to have -9 minus -3 over 8 minus 0. And so that's going to give me -6 over 8. So we should write that as -0.75. So when I actually write down my equation, it's going to be v is -0.75 times t plus, and v naught is -3. So I guess I could have just written this a little bit differently. In fact, I'll just write it as this. Now, how far did it go from 0 to 4 seconds? Well, we know that x is v plus v naught over 2 times the time. And we can read that off the graph. So v at 4 seconds is -6. So we're going to say here we've got -6 plus -3 all over 2 times the time, which is 4 seconds. So we're going to end up getting, let's see, -6 minus 3 is 9. Divided by 2 times 4, that's going to give me -18 meters. In other words, we moved 18 meters, but backwards. Now, how far did it move from 4 to 8 seconds? Again, the same formula. X is v plus v naught over 2 times t, and that's going to be here. So we're going to have -9 plus -6 over 2. Now, I'm traveling from 4 to 8 seconds, so that's actually a 4-second period of time, because that's 8 minus 4. And so I'm going to end up getting 15 times 2, which is -30 meters. So I'm moving another 30 meters backwards. Now, the acceleration, we actually solved for that here. So that's going to be -0.75 meters per second squared. And finally, we want to sketch the x versus t graph. Well, we're moving backwards and speeding up, so this is a possible graph. But here's the thing. We could start at any point. So another possible graph would be, maybe I start here. So this too. So that's why it's one of many possible graphs. So that's problem number one.